Valentine's Day is supposed to be about love, roses, and chocolates. But for some, it's a day where love turns lethal and romance becomes a nightmare. These three real-life stories will make you question how well you really know the person sitting across the table or lurking in the shadows. Story 1. The disappearing lover, Sarah, had always been a hopeless romantic. Even after her last relationship ended in betrayal, she held on to the belief that true love was out there, waiting for her. So, when she matched with Mark on a dating app just 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, she allowed herself to hope. Mark was everything she thought she wanted: charming, attentive, and disarmingly handsome. Their conversations flowed effortlessly, and he seemed genuinely interested in her life. When he suggested they meet in person on Valentine's Day, Sarah felt a thrill of excitement. But her best friend, Lisa, wasn't so sure. "You've only known him for 2 weeks, Sarah," Lisa warned over coffee. "What if he's not who he says he is?" Sarah laughed it off. "You're being paranoid. He's perfect." Lisa frowned. "Just be careful, okay? Promise me you'll text me during the date." Sarah agreed, but deep down, she thought Lisa was overreacting. The date, Valentine's Day, arrived, and Sarah spent hours getting ready. She wanted everything to be perfect. When Mark pulled up in his sleek black car, her heart fluttered. He was even more handsome in person, with piercing blue eyes and a smile that made her feel like the only woman in the world. They went to a cozy Italian restaurant where they shared a bottle of wine and plates of pasta. Mark was the perfect gentleman, complimenting her and making her feel special. But as the night went on, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. It started with small things: the way he avoided certain questions about his past, the way his eyes darted around the room as if he were watching for something. Once, she caught him staring at her purse when she went to the restroom, but she brushed it off, chalking it up to nerves. The disappearance when they returned to her apartment, Mark suggested they have a nightcap. Sarah agreed, but as she turned to pour the drinks, she heard the door click shut. She turned around, and Mark was gone. At first, she thought he had stepped outside for a moment, but when she checked, his car was gone too. Confused and worried, she called his phone, only to find that it had been disconnected. Panic set in as she realized her wallet was missing, along with her grandmother's necklace and the spare key to her car. She called Lisa, who rushed over and helped her file a police report. The investigation days turned into weeks, and Sarah struggled to make sense of what had happened. The police had little to go on. Mark's profile had been deleted, and the phone number he used was untraceable. Then, one day, a detective called her with shocking news. Mark wasn't his real name. His real name was Daniel Carter, and he had done this before. He was a con artist who preyed on women, using Valentine's Day as the perfect cover for his crimes. Sarah felt a mix of anger and relief. She was grateful to have survived the encounter, but the experience left her with a deep sense of distrust. She had gone looking for love, but instead, she had found a nightmare. Story 2. The poison chocolates. Emily had always been a sucker for romance. So, when her boyfriend Jake surprised her with a box of expensive chocolates on Valentine's Day, she was over the moon. But as she bit into the first chocolate, she noticed a strange, bitter taste. She shrugged it off, thinking it was just the filling. Hours later, she was rushed to the hospital with severe stomach cramps and vomiting. Doctors struggled to identify the cause, but tests eventually revealed that the chocolates had been laced with a dangerous substance. The police launched an investigation, and all fingers pointed to Jake's ex-girlfriend, Vanessa. She had been stalking Jake for months, unable to accept their breakup. In a chilling twist, Vanessa confessed to tampering with the chocolates, hoping to eliminate Emily and win Jake back. Story 3. The Valentine's Day Stalker. Claire had always been independent, but when she started receiving mysterious gifts from a secret admirer, she couldn't help but feel flattered. The gifts started small: a single rose, a handwritten note. But as Valentine's Day approached, they became increasingly personal and disturbing. Claire's fear grew as she realized someone was watching her every move. She installed security cameras and changed her routines, but the stalker always seemed one step ahead. On Valentine's Day, Claire came face to face with her stalker, a coworker she had barely spoken to. He had been obsessed with her for months, convinced they were meant to be together. In a terrifying confrontation, Claire fought for her life and managed to escape. The stalker was arrested, but the experience left her forever changed. Conclusion: Valentine's Day is a time for love, but these stories serve as a chilling reminder that not all love stories have happy endings. Sometimes the person you trust the most is the one who will hurt you the deepest. So, as you celebrate this Valentine's Day, remember to keep your eyes open and your heart guarded.